Good day, I am Eloisa Rodriguez, a student of the doctoral program at the Autonomous University of Morelos in Mexico, and I'm going to present you the topic Mainstreaming of Environmental Dimension in Mexican Public Universities, which has been my thesis topic in expertise, and I hope it will be of your interest.
In recent years, it has gained great significance the theme of caring for the environment. Since the global reports highlight the great damage that the human species has caused the planet in general, particularly because logic has prevailed and commercial use, in which no renewal has been found to cause various social and environmental problems and a major environmental deterioration. Since the problem affects the entire population in the world and future generations, global organizations for more than 40 years have insisted on raising agreements, policies, programs, and actions to help solve and anticipate problems and effects of deterioration environment. Among the strategies pursued since the year of 1968, the environmental education employment as an alternative to contribute to finding solutions to problems and challenges of environmental degradation. Environmental education was conceived and formed from different disciplines that gradually allow this development and consolidation. In recent years, it has remained the constant evolution and more recently has been seen as a multidisciplinary field that refers to an active process of joint construction of knowledge for awareness and critical reflection about the relationships between man and his environment in an interaction to recognize the personal and collective action, which we can generate changes that meet the protection, conservation, and regeneration of natural resources, allowing a better quality of life for current and future. Environmental education as a part of educational institution has the task of educating people to think sustainability. In a thoughtful and aware, this task should be incorporated in all processes of training and all educational levels. The problems of environmental degradation and global assume that they affect all citizens of the world, have tended to evolve that make policies that will later be incorporated into action plans in various sectors, as well as policies and strategies including aspects education at all levels. In the case of higher level, universities are responsible for providing society with the professionals in the short term. Then, why not train with environmental education which can help organize a more sustainable future? It is relevant to mention that in Mexico, some universities have regarded the practice of the environmental education as a process that is part of the formal education, and others don't. That is, generally, the process of training in environmental education is given by processes that are not part of the formal structure of education system. The environmental education is one of only a few educational institutions that have assumed the responsibility of society to support the solution of the problem from the education sector. But there are still colleges that have not incorporated the environmental dimension in the formation process, research, and dissemination of culture. For almost 3 decades, various international and national agencies stress the importance of the education sectors at all levels. Sanchez, León, and Robles widely recognize the importance of education and environmental research, as well as the important role of higher education institutions in the generation and transmission of knowledge. In Mexico, National Association of Universities and Higher Education Institutes emphasize that public universities should comply with the substantive functions of training, research, extension, and linkages, and take responsibility in environmental issues, especially because this was where he concentrated a lot of young people in vocational training process and granted to such key institutions as potential creators of career potential for the future of society. Therefore, the creation of universities, training spaces, research, and extension to integrate a perspective of the care of the environment and sustainable development became an emerging issue and support of the life of future generations. In this regard, Nieto and Medellin emphasized that in particular the construction of the perspective of environmental stewardship, and sustainability in higher education was essential because he had a great regional coverage in the country, both geographically and in population, to be served by its links with different sectors of society. Their participation in various networks is critical role and commitment to public interest. However, González and Figueroa stressed that it was also necessary in education in changing environmental values, emphasize ethical axiological aspect from a critical and political reflection, analyze argumentation. Also essential, greening the curriculum, incorporate the environmental dimension in each of the elements and processes curriculum, and not just as a discipline or as a learning unit. Where selected national public universities identified a large number of elements relating to the environmental dimension. Moreover, these institutions were shown to be recognized by the other national issues. The universities selected for this exploration study are the Autonomous University of Baja California, the Autonomous University of Chiapas, the Autonomous University of Mexico State, the Autonomous University of San Luis Potosí, and the University of Guadalajara.